Most people think sleep is just rest, but for those of us over 60, the way you sleep could decide if tomorrow you wake up speaking clearly or struggling to lift your arm. Research from the American Heart Association shows nearly 70% of strokes strike at night or in the early morning hours. That's when your blood pressure naturally surges and your brain is most vulnerable. And here's the shocking part. It's not always about smoking, diet, or exercise. Sometimes it's as simple as lying down the wrong way. Your sleeping posture can silently reduce circulation, limit oxygen, and put pressure on blood vessels that have already grown stiffer with age. The result? A greater chance of blood pooling, clotting, and triggering a stroke before you even open your eyes. But here's the hopeful news. This risk is not permanent. By making just one or two small adjustments tonight, you can improve oxygen flow, support your heart, and protect your independence. This is not about fear, it's about power. The power to change how you sleep, so you can keep walking, talking, and living life on your own terms. Stay with me, because in the next few minutes, I'll show you the most dangerous positions to avoid, along with the safe habits that truly protect your brain. Number 1. Flat on your back with no pillow. Sleeping flat on your back, head level with your heart, may feel natural. Some people say it helps their spine, others believe it opens their chest. But here's what most seniors don't realize. When your head is completely flat, blood doesn't drain from the brain as efficiently. As we age, the vessels in our neck and brain lose flexibility. They become stiffer, less elastic, and slower to adapt to changes in pressure. That means blood returning from the brain must fight against gravity all night long. Instead of flowing smoothly, it can pool and stagnate, creating the perfect setup for clots to form while you sleep. Now combine that with the body's natural morning surge. Between 6 and 10 a.m., blood pressure rises sharply as your system prepares to wake up. Studies published in The Lancet Neurology confirm this surge is when the risk of stroke is highest. So what happens if you've been lying flat all night with sluggish blood flow and stiff arteries? One small clot can dislodge at sunrise, blocking circulation to your brain in seconds. You might go to bed feeling fine, but by morning, you could wake up confused, unable to speak clearly, or unable to move one side of your body. The good news? This risk is preventable with one simple change. Instead of lying flat, elevate your head by about 20 to 30 degrees. A wedge pillow, two supportive pillows, or an adjustable bed can give gravity a chance to help, not hurt. This slight incline reduces pressure inside the head, keeps blood flowing more evenly, and even lowers the chances of snoring or sleep apnea episodes, both linked to higher stroke risk. It doesn't require expensive equipment, just a smarter setup. Remember, the goal isn't just comfort, it's protecting your speech, your balance, and your independence each morning you wake up. So tonight ask yourself, will you lie flat or give your brain the circulation it needs to stay sharp for years to come? Number 2. Sleeping face down, neck turned to the side. Sleeping on your stomach can feel comforting. It presses you into the mattress, gives a cocoon-like feeling, and for some, it's been a habit for decades. But as we age, this position quietly becomes one of the most dangerous. Here's why. To breathe while lying face down, your neck has to twist sharply to one side. That twist compresses the vertebral arteries, the blood vessels that carry oxygen-rich blood to the back of your brain. It also places pressure on the carotid arteries in your neck, the main highways that supply your brain with oxygen. Medical research shows this posture can reduce blood flow in these arteries by more than 40%. Now think about what that means for a 60, 70, or 80-year-old with stiffer, narrower vessels. Every hour you spend face down, blood circulation to your brain is reduced. Instead of flowing freely, it slows, pools, and may begin to clot. And because these changes happen silently, you won't feel warning signs until it's too late. Add in sleep apnea or the use of sedatives, and the risk multiplies. Why? Because your airway is already more likely to collapse and your body less likely to respond to low oxygen. So while you think you're sleeping deeply, your brain may actually be starving for air. The result can be devastating. A stroke in the cerebellum or brainstem, areas that control balance, coordination, and even consciousness. The fix is simple, and it could save your independence. Avoid stomach sleeping altogether. Instead, train yourself to sleep on your left side with a supportive pillow that keeps your head and neck aligned straight with your spine. A body pillow can help keep your torso from rolling forward so you stay in a safe position through the night. This small change supports circulation, reduces pressure on fragile vessels, and protects oxygen flow to the brain. Remember, what feels cozy now may cost you dearly later. But by shifting to a safer position tonight, you give your brain the steady blood supply it needs to keep you walking, talking, and living freely for years to come. Number 3. Right side, sleeping with arm under the pillow. It feels natural. You roll onto your right side, tuck your arm under the pillow, and drift off thinking it's the same way you've slept for decades. But for older adults, this habit quietly puts dangerous pressure on some of the body's most important blood vessels and nerves. Here's the problem. When your arm is pinned beneath your head and pillow, it presses directly on the carotid artery in your neck and the subclavian vessels near your shoulder. These are the highways that supply your brain with oxygen-rich blood. With hours of compression, circulation slows, blood begins to pool, and clots can silently form. By morning, when blood pressure naturally surges, those clots may dislodge and travel straight to the brain. That's why so many strokes occur in the early hours, even in people who felt perfectly fine the night before. But that's not all. This position also squeezes the brachial plexus, a critical bundle of nerves that runs through your shoulder and arm. At first, you might notice tingling, numbness, or your hand falling asleep. Over years, this constant pressure can lead to microvascular damage and nerve stress that your body no longer recovers from easily. Clinical reports show patients waking up unable to lift their arm, or worse, unable to move one side of their body after a stroke triggered by this very position. So what can you do? The fix is simple. Never wedge your arm beneath your pillow. Instead, use a supportive pillow that keeps your neck aligned and hug a body pillow to stabilize your shoulders and prevent rolling into unsafe angles. Keep both arms forward or gently at your side, not trapped beneath your weight. These small adjustments free your arteries, protect your nerves, and keep blood flowing smoothly to your brain all night long. It may feel strange at first, but your brain and body will thank you. Because one safe night's sleep isn't just about waking up rested, it's about waking up able to speak, walk, and stay independent for years to come. Number 4. Sleeping upright in a recliner. For many older adults, the recliner feels like a safe haven. It's soft, it eases back pain, and it seems easier than climbing into bed. Night after night, the chair becomes the default place to sleep. But here's the hidden danger. When you sleep half upright, gravity is working against you. Blood naturally pools in the lower body, especially in the legs and ankles. Over time, this sluggish circulation can create blood clots in the deep veins of your legs, known as deep vein thrombosis, or DVT, and the risk grows with age. According to a 2022 study published in BMJ, people over 70 who remain immobile for long stretches of time face a sharply higher risk of venous thromboembolism, dangerous clots that can travel through the bloodstream. Now imagine one of those clots breaking free in the early morning, riding up through the circulatory system and lodging in a vessel that feeds your brain. The result is sudden, life-changing, and often permanent: a stroke. Beyond circulation, sleeping upright weakens something called the baroreflex, your body's natural system for balancing blood pressure. Instead of working smoothly, your pressure may swing higher or lower during the night, further straining your brain and heart. So what's the solution? If you truly need elevation for reflux, breathing, or comfort, avoid the recliner. Use an adjustable bed or a wedge that raises your entire upper body while still keeping your legs supported. And before bed, take a few minutes to flex and stretch your calves and ankles. Simple moves that encourage circulation and reduce clot risk. These changes may sound small, but they make a powerful difference. Because sleep is not just about getting comfortable, it's about positioning your body so that blood flows freely, protecting your brain through the night. So if you've made the recliner your bed, consider this your wake-up call. Switching back to a proper sleep setup could be the step that keeps you walking, talking, and living independently for years to come. Number 5. Sleeping with a blanket over your head. For many of us, pulling the covers over our head feels comforting. It blocks out noise, keeps in warmth, and creates a sense of security that goes back to childhood. But after age 60, this cozy habit can quietly become dangerous. Here's why. When you sleep under a heavy blanket, the air around your nose and mouth gets trapped. Oxygen levels slowly drop, while carbon dioxide, the waste gas you exhale, builds up through the night. Your younger body may have tolerated this decades ago, but in your 60s, 70s, or 80s, your brain no longer bounces back the same way. Low oxygen plus high carbon dioxide thickens the blood and stresses fragile vessels. That combination makes it easier for clots to form while you sleep. And those clots often strike during the early morning surge in blood pressure, when most strokes occur. A review published in Sleep Medicine Reviews 2021 confirmed that even mild nighttime oxygen drops are linked to higher risk of stroke and cognitive decline in older adults. The frightening part? You don't feel it happening. You go to bed warm and safe, but your brain is slowly suffocating. By morning, the damage may already be done. The fix is simple, and it doesn't require giving up comfort. Instead of covering your face, use a breathable sleep mask to block light or earplugs to reduce noise. Choose lightweight bedding that keeps you warm without restricting airflow. And if your room feels too bright or drafty, adjust the temperature or use blackout curtains. Never bury your head under the blanket. These small swaps give your brain the oxygen it needs to repair and recharge through the night. Because restful sleep isn't just about feeling cozy. It's about protecting your speech, your memory, and your independence, so you can wake up ready to live fully each day. Number 6. Tossing and turning, fragmented sleep. We all expect to wake up a little stiff as we get older. But if you find yourself tossing and turning all night, waking up tired, or shifting positions every few minutes, your brain may be sounding an alarm. Fragmented sleep doesn't just leave you groggy, it disrupts the natural rhythm your body relies on to heal and reset. Here's what happens. When sleep is constantly broken, your blood pressure never settles into a steady nighttime dip. Instead, it spikes and crashes unpredictably, putting stress on your arteries. At the same time, cortisol, the stress hormone, stays elevated. That makes your blood thicker, your vessels stiffer, and your risk of stroke higher. In fact, a large study published in Neurology, 2019, found that older adults with poor sleep quality had a 27% higher risk of stroke compared to those who slept soundly. And this risk is even greater for people with hypertension, diabetes, or atrial fibrillation. The real danger? You might not even know it's happening. You may think you're getting 6 or 7 hours, but if those hours are broken into restless fragments, your brain is never truly restoring itself. So what can you do? First, keep your sleep environment cool and steady, between 18 and 20 degrees C, 65 to 68 degrees C. That temperature range has been shown to improve sleep depth and circulation. Second, cut out caffeine, alcohol, and heavy meals at least 3 to 4 hours before bed. Both caffeine and alcohol interfere with your body's ability to reach restorative deep sleep. And finally, keep a consistent sleep schedule. Going to bed and waking up at the same time every day helps train your body's natural clock. These small adjustments calm your nervous system, stabilize blood pressure, and give your brain the uninterrupted rest it needs. Because sleep isn't just about hours on the clock, it's about quality. And when your sleep is deep and steady, you wake up not only refreshed, but protected against the silent dangers of stroke. Number 7. Going to bed right after a heavy meal or alcohol. For many of us, dinner and a drink feel like the perfect way to end the day. A full belly, a glass of wine or whiskey, and then straight to bed. But after 60, this routine can quietly create the perfect storm for your brain. Here's why. When you eat a heavy meal close to bedtime, blood is redirected away from the brain and into the digestive system. That means less oxygen and circulation reaching the very organ that needs it most during the night, your brain. Now add alcohol to the mix. At first, alcohol relaxes your vessels, lowering pressure and making you feel drowsy. But as it wears off, your vessels rebound and constrict again. This sharp swing forces your blood pressure to jump at the worst possible time, during the overnight hours when most strokes occur. According to the National Institutes of Health, NIH 2021, drinking alcohol before bed is linked to a higher risk of nighttime blood pressure spikes and irregular heart rhythms, including atrial fibrillation. And atrial fibrillation is one of the strongest triggers for clot-related strokes. So, while a late meal and a drink may feel comforting, they quietly set your heart and brain up for danger. The good news? You don't have to give them up entirely. Here's the safer way. Finish dinner at least 2 to 3 hours before bed, giving your body time to digest without pulling blood away from the brain. If you enjoy alcohol, keep it moderate and have it earlier in the evening, not as a nightcap. And always hydrate with water to prevent thickened blood overnight. These simple adjustments lower stress on your heart, stabilize your blood pressure, and keep oxygen flowing to your brain when it matters most. Because protecting your independence doesn't mean giving up life's pleasures. It means enjoying them wisely, so you can keep waking up strong, clear-headed, and in control of your tomorrow. Connection, small changes, big independence. It's easy to think that habits like how we sleep don't matter. But for those of us past 60, the truth is, every choice carries more weight than it used to. The way you position your head, the pillow you choose, even the timing of your last meal, all of it quietly shapes the health of your brain overnight. And here's the encouraging part. You don't need complicated equipment or expensive treatments to protect yourself. Simple adjustments, like raising your head 20 to 30 degrees, skipping that late-night drink, or keeping your bedroom cool, can ease the strain on blood vessels and support steady circulation. When blood flows freely, your brain gets the oxygen it needs to do what it does best: repair, restore, and recharge. That's not just about preventing a stroke. It's about keeping your memory sharp, your speech clear, and your balance steady. It's about protecting the freedom to drive yourself to the store, to cook your own meals, and to keep making choices on your own terms. Think about it. Independence isn't built on one big decision. It's built on the tiny daily habits that either protect or weaken your body over time. And the beautiful thing is, you still have control over those habits. You can choose tonight to give your brain the best chance to stay strong for tomorrow, because in the end, these aren't just sleep tips. They're tools to help you live longer, live sharper, and live free, without depending on anyone else to get through the day. 10 years from now, do you picture yourself living independently or depending on someone else for even the smallest tasks? That future begins with the choices you make tonight. Not next year, not next month, tonight. Because your brain doesn't wait. It responds to how you sleep, how you breathe, and how you care for it every single night. The truth is, most strokes that happen during sleep are preventable. They're not accidents of age, they're the result of routines we never questioned. So if you take only one step after watching this, make it this. Elevate your head 20 to 30 degrees, skip that nightcap, and never cover your head under a heavy blanket again. These may sound simple, but they carry the power to keep your memory sharp, your speech clear, and your balance steady. They protect your ability to cook your own meals, drive your own car, and keep making choices on your own terms. So, I'll ask again, do you want the next decade to be about independence or dependence? The answer begins with you, and it begins tonight. Type the word independent in the comments, and I'll send you a free one-page checklist along with a card that shows exactly how to set up your pillow safely at the right angle. And don't forget, subscribe and turn on the bell so you'll never miss another senior health tip designed to keep you strong, sharp, and free. Because when you protect your sleep, you protect your future.